Good morning. Can everybody hear me? Good day, good morning. Let's get up, let's get at it. How are we feeling this morning, people? Top Gun, welcome, man. Thank you for being here. As always, guys, let's start this morning off with dedication, determination, and a desire to do better. As always, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, it's feeling good here today. You see, I got my hoodie down top. got my hoodie down, pretty warm this morning. Or less cold. So how's everybody feeling today? Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the walk and talk. That didn't last long. This morning, today is Saturday, people. It is 5:53 in the morning. Welcome to the walk and talk. Working on getting over a little bit of a cold. This is what happens when you got 7 children. They go out. I have to at least be, when you multiply the number of people my children engage with by the number of people they engage with, and then bring that home, I'm breathing in the air of millions. So, welcome in. Again, good morning, people. Welcome to the top of the day. It is 5:54. Today is Saturday. It is the 22nd day of November, people. December 22nd, 2025, as always. Coming to you from up here, northeast of Maryland. Thank you for taking a moment to stop in. Welcome to the walk and talk. We're going to have some fun this morning. What we're going to talk about today is going above and beyond. This is an important conversation. It's an important conversation this morning, primarily because I've been doing some recent study, and it's something that I mentioned for just a brief moment in a previous walk and talk. I want us to touch on it again today. And it's about the fact that working is what we do. It's who we are as humans. So even when people retire, and so many people don't, and so many people don't retire because they don't know how to define their existence outside of being rewarded for exchanging their time. This process, frankly, this indoctrination, as they call it, starts early on, especially in the United States and other communities that are capitalistic in nature. And these countries, a lot of our countries try to tell us that, oh, we're so different. No, but the primary government in place, and it's been so for a long time, is capitalism. And it's about growing wealth. It's about expanding, consuming territory, and pushing further, pushing your borders and boundaries further. And it's crazy how for years we've been told that it's the noble march of, God has mandated that we own this land, or the king conquers, And so if we can make it, I believe it was Sun Tzu, Art of War, that says if you want people to go to battle, you have to give them a purpose. You have to give them a why. And the most acceptable why has been, and for a lot of people, you would think it would be religion, but it's not when you look closely. It's this tie-in to country and patriotism. In many different countries across the globe, it's we're right, they're wrong. We are, our way of thinking and living is so much better. And it's difficult to tie it to religion, because if you tie it to religion, then it becomes a dispute between all of the religions about which religion is best, and no. And so that's division. And that's why the United States grew, right? We're a young country. That's how the United States grew as quickly as it did, because it was like, you get freedom of religion here. Now, even though they were all white Protestants or some other version of Christianity, even though they were all that, they were like, you get freedom of religion. Now we're pulling back, but that's a whole other conversation. But what I want to talk to you about today is what it means to go above and beyond, and why the way we've been indoctrinated and trained to perform and work falls into this particular type of framework and indoctrination. So good morning to everyone. Thank you for being here. It's as true as it can be for me. Who wants to share? All right. Thank you all for dropping in this morning, sharing. I don't know. I'm not from Australia. Immigrate to wherever you want to. The topic is, God's not a topic. Okay. Take a second. Do I want to? Okay, guys, welcome to the top of the hill. For those of you who walk with me, welcome to the top of the hill. There you go, guys. This is my little overlook. This is the little view that I get at the top of my community. Was Christianity by the sword? Yeah, what do you mean by the sword? Not a bad question. Here's the thing. We're going to talk about going above and beyond, and why, when it comes to your work, above and beyond is not a place you want to stay in, but we've been indoctrinated to believe so. Before there was a direct compensation, before there was money, before there was corporations, organizations, we worked. It's what we did. It's what humans did. And when there was no work to do, we went and looked for places to work, to do something. Like if you check the lineage of whether you're a nomad, whether you were hunters, whether you were gatherers, whether you planted crops, life was about waking up and going to work. It's what we did, right? It's how we survived. You work because that is living, right? It wasn't torturous to work. It was just the thing that you did because it's what you do. And so the structures fell into place where, hey, certain people perform certain tasks. That's work. That had nothing to do with, I need a job and a college degree so I could be better at this and I can make more money so I can live my life. And we do it backwards now, because now we believe, hey, in order for me to truly be alive and enjoy my life, I have to gather a certain amount of income, right? Because we're no longer going out and we're no longer in a position where we're looking at things like, hey, being alive and living is work in and of itself, so let me live. And what we've turned to is, I need to be able to consume things. I need to be able to buy things in order for me to be happy. So work is just when I go out and someone pays me for my time, right? So that's not work. That's a job. A job is just that. That's someone giving you money for your time. You have to understand when someone gives you a job, and I want you to think about this, because once you understand this principle, you will be more relaxed at your job. When someone gives you money for a job, and I often use sports because sports is pretty widespread and people can see a lot of athletes, they pay you for your time with an expectation that it will generate a certain amount of income from them. A realization that no matter how much they pay you, if they structure their business correctly, they will make more money off of your commitment of time than they have to pay you for your time. So if someone's paying you $100,000 a year for your time, they're making $1 million a year off of what you're doing. If someone's paying you $13 an hour for your time, the structure has it set up so that they're making $1,300, $130 an hour for your time. Okay? So when you talk about, hey, I need a job, we're flipping it, we're making it backwards, because our whole life is work. There's an old Jim Rohn line that says, Jim Rohn, which one is it, guys? I get it wrong each time. That says specifically, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. But that can only be true if you consider what you do for yourself work. And for so many of us, we don't. And that's why we lament our life. We only find value when someone else is paying us to be alive, when someone else is giving us currency for our time. And we all, as I was just saying, go to our job and we have someone next to us who makes as much as us or more than us, and they don't produce the same. I say this about sports because you can see it in sports. And so especially as athletes get older, the productivity isn't the same, but the compensation is much higher. Why? Because people pay to see that person. They don't pay to see if that person wins. They don't pay to be the winner. That's gambling. They pay to be near and around that person. And so when you look at the Los Angeles Lakers, American basketball team, and a perennial athlete like LeBron James, who has the notoriety and the name, and he says, draft my son, it's because, and the team says we're going to do it, it's because they have an understanding they're going to make way more money with those two guys sitting there together on the bench than they're going to make in any other way. And it doesn't matter how good they are. It's not about winning the championship. It's about increasing revenue, the bottom line, making money. So why is any of this relevant? I'll explain to you why it's relevant. We go in and we go to work, we get jobs, and we start working hard because we've been taught to go above and beyond. Well, yeah, you could do this. And that's what we're asking you to do. We're asking you to do these things. But you could do more. Yeah, I could do more. but you're not paying me to do more. No, but we really want to see these results. We really want to see you grow. Do you? I'm just saying that's not directly in my job purview. But for many of us, we go above and beyond on a regular basis. And it's not about the compensation. It can lead to frustration and burnout. And the reason it does is because that is the nature of who we are as humans. And we think that it has something to do with pay and compensation. And it doesn't. That's the nature of who you are. If the nature of who you are is a giving person, then that's just the nature of who you are. And so these are the types of things that lead us to grow and become more committed to our specific goals, to our outcomes, more tied to seeing a result and a benefit from this time. But that leads to burnout because you go above and beyond, right? And when you do so, and then the company comes to you and they're like, thank you for going above and beyond. Here's your extra 35 cents. We're like, oh, thank you. Here's your extra $1.05. Oh, thank you. But then we get to a point where we're like, well, what about my life? What about me? And this is one of the things that I had to come to a realization of. When you tie your value to your happiness versus to your company's appreciation of you, when you tie your value to your happiness versus anybody else's appreciation of you or happiness with you, your priorities change. Makes you a better person. See, if I understand how important my happiness is and that in order for me to be happy, I need to know me, I need to be able to work on me, I need to understand me, I need to know that the things around me are happening and not happening to me. When I come to that realization, we don't walk out into the world every day thinking that we're in a confrontation. And so we understand there's a balance, and we prioritize at that point maintaining that balance of caring for ourselves, maintaining that balance of understanding our value, our growth. Most definitely wired for productivity, not laziness. That's why as children, and this happens early and we've been let down for generations, children say so quickly, I'm bored. I'm bored. You're like, sweet Lord, we have 7 televisions. We have 3 computers. You have a phone, a tablet. There is an entire planet outside our front door. You have working legs. We have pencils and paper, and you're talking about you are bored. Yes, bored. Why? Because, as you just said, we're wired for productivity, and we're not being productive. We seek it from as little children in our youth. We seek it out. Books, yeah, books. Your eyes, listen, they put books in the little thing in your hand now. Let's get you an actual book. It'll feel better. Thank you so much, Pokemon. Thank you. So what are we doing? Why are we seeing all of this boredom? Because we are wired to be productive. But we've been taught Starting in school, we've been taught, oh, well, no, only do good because you get a grade for it. Only work hard and only be productive because you get a grade for it. These are the things that lead us to this point where we go into a job. And I'm not telling you don't do your best. No, you must. It's the only way to go about life, is living life and producing the way you produce. Don't look to the people next to you. It's going to piss you off. If the person next to you is doing worse than you and getting paid more than you, you're going to be pissed. That's crap. I can't believe that they're paying that person the same as me and that's their work product. Well, I should just be doing what they're doing. That ain't who you is. That ain't your skill set, right? If you look to the person next to you and they do better than you do and they make more money than you do, you still ain't happy. Man, just because they went to that school, you know what? I think it's because they look alike. They must know something, who they sleep with. You see what I'm saying? Anytime you spend your time looking outside yourself, you're just creating frustrations because you cannot control anybody else, right? You have to keep that focus. If you become a better version of yourself, if you spend that time working on you versus trying to burn yourself out, going above and beyond for somebody else's approval and appreciation for you, and that's what we're doing on the job. Look how hard I'm working. You burn out. I'll go back to the sports analogy. When you are working to become the best version of yourself as a player, and this is what I'm gonna date myself a little bit. Many physically gifted athletes become horrible coaches. And the reason they do is because when you have the physical potential, when you are gifted physically with just the genetics to be able to perform on a specific level, when you're gifted with that, and then someone comes to you and says, how do I do something? And you try to teach it to them based off of what you were able to do with your gifts, they can't achieve it. And the reason they can't achieve it is because they don't have your gifts. And now they're trying to go above and beyond in a space that they can't. They can't be 6'9" and run like a cheetah. That was your thing. And so these physically gifted athletes go out and they start to coach from their space. Not everybody has what you have. But then you find these players who were good. They performed. They were out there. They won some, but they were And then they become phenomenal coaches. Because they understand, I didn't get here because I came out and I was blessed with just the physique and the ability to perform this. I had to work on it. I had to go out, I had to practice, I had to get started. It required discipline. And I'm telling you, when you approach your life and your personal development with discipline, your career changes. Everything around you, everything about your experience changes. Discipline is very simple. Tier 1 is repetition. So many people think it's consistency, and it's not. You can't be consistent at something you don't know and you haven't developed the tools for yet. Repetition is just get started. Keep showing up, doing that thing. That's what repetition is. You start to show up with repetition, and then that repetition builds. That repetition starts to turn into, you have to couple it with patience, and now you're actually learning to do this thing. And after you learn to do this thing, you're going to now join that repetition and patience, create a plan that's called consistency. Consistency is where you start to grow and you start to grade what you're doing. And then you finish it with perseverance. That's that element of you that has grown and become stronger because of the investment and the time and the energy. That takes work. That's how we grow. We have to apply that to ourselves. We cannot keep assuming, we cannot keep working or living in a way where we have the belief that the world is going to just fold to our will because we just keep hustling and going hard. That's how we burn out. That's frustration because we're not working for ourselves. We're working for someone else's approval. We have to approve of ourselves first. My mom and my niece used to be the only things that made me happy to live. Sometimes church changed the game for me. Okay. And making beats. Keep making your beats. Grill a mean steak. Y'all are funny. And so what does this mean? What does it mean when we say, don't go above and beyond? It means there's 100% of you. That's all you have is 100%. There's no 120% of you. You may not have reached your 100% yet. You may be working in the 80% window, and it might be really good. That 80% might be plenty to be productive and to produce and to be relatable. But there is only 100% of you. And when you work at your maximum capacity, anything that you run at 100% all the time, you're going to burn it out. You're going to destroy it. This is why we sleep. We're not awake 100% of the day. Some people are. Look at them. I'm sorry. Listen, that might have came out wrong. Listen, what I'm saying is you have to understand that there is only 100% that you have to give. You need to find out what that looks like for you. And you find out by giving it to yourself first. Are you committed? Are you 100% committed to your own development and growth? Are you 100% committed to seeing the best version of yourself for yourself? For so many people, there is no 100% commitment to their own life. This is what I mean when I say we've been indoctrinated to believe that the only thing in life that's work is when we are exchanging our time for money. You even hear people say it. People who have become wealthy, they'll tell you, I don't work no more. I ain't gotta work. I got money, I ain't gotta work. What does money have to do with you working? Good question. How do you deal with credit cards? Let me finish up real quick on this point, and then I'll talk about that. I'm gonna ask some questions to have a better understanding of what do you mean with how you deal with credit cards. But here's the thing, people. Going above and beyond burns you out. You must establish discipline. Discipline gives you the space and the ability to grow. It gives you a framework for not only living, but appreciating the life you live. Versus being burnt out, being wore down, being disgruntled, being unforgiving, so many just poor feelings and behaviors that are associated with being driven more by, oh, I have to prove, versus I have to live. Okay? That's the key. Is it's not about going above and beyond. It's about understanding that work is a part of living. Work is living. A job is something different. And if we start to understand that work includes working on ourselves, we become less we become less angry and entitled, and we become more understanding. Definitely more. And so here's the thing that we want to be able to look at in regards to that, is understanding as we grow, as we continue to invest in who we are and who we want to be and how we're going to develop our own lives, and the understanding that there's nothing greater than 100%, we start to appreciate the things that we do that are challenging. They start being things that you hate and are laborious. I can't stand washing dishes. Well, you need clean dishes. What you gonna do? Eat off the floor? What you gonna do? Just eat food out your hand? Oh, I hate washing dishes. Okay, but you need clean dishes. Wash the dishes. Turn some music on. Put in the 8 to 10 minutes it's gonna take to get your dishes clean. Move on with your day. Oh, I hate tying shoes. Okay, you need your shoes tied. Or get yourself some slip-ons. Listen, there are options. There are things available to us. But so many times we spend so much time hating our lives. We spend so much time hating our existence, lamenting our requirement to just get to anywhere, that we just walk around mad. Oh my God, I gotta go to work today. No, you have to go to your job today. You go to work every day. Oh man, this traffic's so stupid. You got a car, you're driving to work. Come on, man. It's just there. It's just the thing that's in front of you. Make your decisions, live your life. Understand that if you are working on you, if you matter enough to you for you to spend time working on you, the things that you do around that no longer beat you down. And it starts with discipline. Stay on that road to mastery. Way to go, Goodyear. So it was, what is his name? Hamia 346? Hamis? Are you still there, Hamis? You asked the question. I'd like to answer it for you, but I don't want to waste time. Anytime. Thank you. That's a ridiculous question. All right, so what's your specific question about handling credit cards? Talk to me. What is the concern? Like, are you talking about how to acquire them, how to use them, how to pay them off? What's their benefit? How do they work? Let me know what you're thinking about when you ask that question. How do you handle credit cards? Should I just leave paying them? I'm not sure what you mean, should you just leave paying them? Do you have credit card debt? Have you been using credit cards and you have debt and you want to know how to reduce that debt? Or are you saying that you have credit card debt and you're looking to get credit cards and you're concerned about using that credit, just a little bit more of an understanding. I just don't want to start speaking randomly about credit cards. Anybody else have any questions about credit cards? Any questions? Okay, you got debt. Okay. All right. Where are you from, Hamis? Is it Kaka Hamis? Is that how you say it? Kaka Hamis? Kaka Hamis? So, if you have debt, you have debt. You manage it. Is the debt beneficial? Meaning, do you have debt because you needed a car to get back and forth to work, so you took out a loan because you couldn't pay for it in cash? Do you have debt because you did a good job not acquiring debt when you were young, and then you got a credit card and you decided that you needed a new MacBook, iPhone, and other toys, TVs, new outfits? How did you use that money? Because this is important, and it changes how you deal with your debt. It changes what you do. We're seeking home Christ, but religion is so disturbing. Everything along the politics. Jesus called everyone who was weary and heavy laden. He never asked for worship. Okay, thank you for sharing. Who's that, Josh? Joshua, thank you for sharing. So I need a better understanding, Hamis, because it matters. It's a difference. And I'll share with you the difference while you're kind of getting that together. If you have debt for something that is growing your business, growing the work you do, if you have debt because you're making something or building something bigger, then you manage it. You do what you have to make sure that it gets paid, to make sure that you're taking care of it in a way that's practical, in a way that is that maintains profitability for you. If you have debt because you went out and got credit cards and you just bought a bunch of stuff, and now people are coming at you and they're telling you to give them $50 a month for the next 20 years. And they done closed the credit card. Nah, don't pay that. Listen, I'm gonna tell you about how poor people bankruptcy works. It's not the same as rich people. It works different. Poor people bankruptcy works like this. If you can't get it and you ain't got it, don't give it. It's that simple. You owe somebody $70,000 because you made some poor decisions, or life changed, or you lost a job. You can't get it and you ain't got it, don't give it. It's that simple. It's like, man, I get it. I owe you $70,000. Yeah, I used these credit cards. Took my family on some trips. Had a great job. We were going to pay this off in 90 days. Things change. Market change. I don't have that 70 grand. I can't give it to you. Can we work something out? Sure. What you trying to work out? You trying to say my bad and let me go? What are you asking for? This is why it's important to understand, because we sit around and we look at wealthy people. We look at people who have amassed millions of dollars. And we're like, okay, well, how do I get there? Well, first step is don't pay bad debt. Step number one, do not give people money for something that you cannot get anything back from. Period. Point blank. The laws are in place to protect your money more than they are to protect you. How do you think rich people keep their money? Nobody can just garnish your wages. They have to send you a letter. They have to make a statement. You have a right to say, this is not mine. I will not be paying it. We're bringing you to court. Absolutely fine. Take me to court. But this is not my debt. I will not be paying it. It is their responsibility to prove that you are the person who established the debt. If somebody wants to come after you for a $3,000 credit card, and they got to hire lawyers, and they got to go to court, and they got to pay thousands of hours, okay, you do that. This is not my debt. I'm not paying it. You ain't getting nothing from me. We don't need all things bling. So what am I sharing with you? Here's what I'm sharing with you about debt. Debt is a way to finance growth. Used appropriately, your growth will amass or surpass anything you have in debt. As soon as the value is greater than the debt, you're no longer in debt. People are indebted to you. Always careful. So how does that work? If you borrow $5,000 on a credit card to purchase hardware to start printing t-shirts, and then you're able to use that to get yourself $20,000 worth of t-shirts that you can sell. You're not in debt. You gotta sell some t-shirts. You have some more work that you need to do, but you're not in debt anymore. I got $20,000 worth of product from a $5,000 investment. Bought myself some hardware, got myself some materials, some designs, put it together. I'm printing them, I have them up, they're gonna go out. All right, I'm creating revenue. When that revenue stream starts to build and you can say, okay, my monthly payment for this $5,000 that I borrowed is $75. My monthly income from this $5,000 that I borrowed is $150. I'm plus 75 bucks. You know what? I need that to grow faster. Let me look, let me research, let me figure it out. How can I put that $75 of profit to work to make more money? You're not in debt. If you borrowed $5,000 on a credit card because you wanted a new phone and a new outfit so you could take your girlfriend to a concert and y'all could enjoy your time together, and now you have to pay this credit card back and the interest is greater than your ability to pay on a regular basis, and what seemed like it was a great night turned into the next 5 years of your life, you're in debt because you're not producing anything. And this is this thing, now keep in mind, everybody always say money can't make you happy. Okay, why you borrow $5,000 to go on a date? If money can't make you happy, why did you borrow $20,000? You used a credit card. Why did you borrow $20,000 to get an engagement ring? Money can't make you happy. Why did daddy spend $150,000 for you to get married to somebody who don't like you no more? And now you moving back in with daddy, and he could have put that $150,000 into an account for you that would have given you the stability to be on your own for a really long time. See, we keep talking about money don't make us happy, but then keep talking about, let me get the rewards via your money. Make me happy with your money. Spend your money on me. Give me more money. Money don't make you happy, but you keep tying your happiness to it. That's the bottom line with credit. If you're using credit for your personal life, stop. Excuse me. If you're borrowing money, that money should be making more money. That's the purpose of money, to make more money. That's it. We are the lenders. I keep trying to explain this very simple principle to people. Where do you borrow money from? Let's get into it, people. Where do you borrow money from? Can anybody in the chat tell me, who do you borrow money from? take a moment. I want you guys to let me know. When you want to borrow money, when you want to get a credit card, where do you go to borrow money? I get a little passionate about this because I have an understanding of how it works, and I'm trying to share and help us grow together in this process because I've experienced it. Where do you go to get money from? Where do you go? Someone with a lot who owns a business, big corporations. Anybody else? I hear what you're saying. Who is that? 10 deep. Someone who's a lot. Banks, okay. Investors, okay. All right, that's where you go to get money from. Where do they get their money from? Banks that don't have the money anyway. Right, where do they get their money from? Where do banks get their money from? Where do corporations get their money from? Where does that money come from? Investors, where do they get their money from? Make it out of air. The government says it's okay. It's part of a pool of investors. Okay, a pool of investors where money comes from where? They get money by signing paper. Okay, by signing paper to get money from where? See, you got to get to the bottom of it, right? Like they tell you when they're working through medical practices and people are becoming nurses and doctors, they always tell them, don't treat the symptoms, treat the issue. Stop treating people's pain in their lower back if they have an imbalance in their hips needs to be corrected for them to walk appropriately. Let's fix that. Let's stop giving them pain medication so they can continue to be broken and just feel better. We have to understand what the root is. All right? Account holders who keep their money in the bank. Bang! Money from us. You freaking said it. We are the lenders. It is us. We are the lenders. The bank that closed out in Cali a year ago, maybe a little bit longer. You guys remember the bank out there in Silicon Valley that closed down? Why did that bank close? Does anybody remember the thing that happened that caused the bank to close? The actual behavior that happened to close that bank. What happened? What happened that made that bank close? Do the research. Somebody can pull it up real quick. Bank, Silicon Valley Bank. Can't remember what it was called. It might have been called Silicon Valley Bank. Something like that. Out in Cali, a little whiles back, had a lot of bad debt. They were doing some silly stuff with the money. They were over leveraged in places, but there was one thing that happened. There was a specific thing that happened that caused that bank to first close its doors and then to close down as a bank. What was that thing that happened? What was the one thing that happened? What was the one actionable event? I don't mean the thing that happened that they talked about. I don't mean the thing that was the story on the news. I mean, what was that one human action that caused that bank to close down and shutter its doors? Big bank, large bank, out in California, doing lots of investing in the sector that's specifically designed for growing this technology that we have. They had to close their doors. And there was one thing that happened that caused them to have to close their doors. After months of conversations and speculations and reorganization and other things, there was one thing that happened that caused them to close their doors. Thank you. Thank you, Rick, for the gift. That one thing that happened, the people went to go get their money. That's what happened. People walked up, opened the door, and they said, give me my money. The bank was like, what? They were like, let me get my money. And they were like, well, you know, this is how it, no. I have an account. It has this much money in it. Give me my money. sold the deposits and loans to First Citizens Bank Trust Company. The future was triggered by a combination of run on the bank, social media fueled panic over the financial health, and a lack of on-hand currency. The people said, give me my money. They had outstanding loans. They sold some off to another bank to grow capital. They took our money, they gave it to other people with an expectation that it would come back with interest. They mismanaged the loans. They sold a bundle of debt to another company for cash, and then the people came up and said, give me my money. And they were like, we're closed. FDIC insures up to $250,000. Put $250,000 in a bank account and then go try to get it. I'll do you one better. Go try to get $10,000 in cash out of your bank account. Go try to do it. How many people in this chat have ever gone and tried to get 10,000? I'll take it a step further. How many people in here have ever gone and tried to cash your freaking tax return at a bank? What's the first thing they say to you? Do you have an account here with us? Do you have an account here with us? What did you say there, Daniel? Took me 10 seconds after I knew what to look up. That's it. 10 seconds after you knew what you were looking for, boom, the information was right there. The people said, people came up and said, man, give me my money back. The bank said, I ain't got it. People said, somebody gonna get their ass kicked. Bank says, oop, we're closed. Bank said, wait a minute, let me get you somebody else to talk to. They did not reopen their doors. Closed the doors, people stopped coming to work. They got people standing out front, looking in the window. There ain't no money in there. What you looking in there for? People, we are the lenders. Why is this important? Because we go out, we put our money in the bank. You can put thousands of dollars in the bank. Don't get me started on churches. You can put thousands of dollars in the bank. Go try to get it. Oh, wait. What's going on, Mr. Bird? What would you like to do? Is this something you're trying to get done? Yeah, I'm trying to buy this house. Okay, Mr. Bird, I understand you want to buy this house. There's a lot of different ways for us to do it. We can see that you have money on hand to be able to purchase this house. Can we get you somebody to talk to? Can I get you with one of my financial advisors? I need your money, Mr. Bird. I can't just have you taking cash out. I can't have you taking large sums of money out. It makes me scared. It makes me think you're gonna leave and you're gonna go somewhere else and you're gonna do something with your money, and I'm not gonna continue to be able to use it. I need to use your money, Mr. Bird. Here's another one. Here's a good one. Here's a funny one, guys. This is a good one. They gotta arrange it. Construct projects they wanna hold the cash. Yeah. Arrange the payments. Right. Track every dollar. Make sure if they can find a way to save you $10 that they do it, but then they pocket half and they tell you they saved you $5. Man, listen to me. It's our money. This is why you don't go out and get credit cards. It's your money. It's already yours. If I put money in a bank and the bank says, hey, here's some money you can use. Great, I'm gonna take that money and I'm gonna put that money to work. So that money makes more money than it costs me to use it. If you give me $5,000 and you tell me that I have to give you back $50 a month in order for me to be able to use this $5,000, I'm gonna invest that $5,000 in a way that it makes $60 a month. So I can pay you your 50 and make me 10. I don't care if it takes 20 years. I don't care if it takes 50. It doesn't matter. I don't owe you anything. I just turned your money into my money again because it's already my money. So here's the thing. Here's what I'm saying. This is what ignorance do. This is a funny story. I don't even think it's really associated with the ways banks work, but kinda it is. Cousin, I wanna say Alabama. Man, I wanna say Alabama so bad. Couple of cousins, it's a girl and it's a dude. Maybe Georgia, but Georgia is really close to Alabama. Couple of cousins get together, they decide they're gonna put in a fraudulent tax return. So one cousin goes in, he starts loading this thing up, pow, 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 pow. So I think they did one where they said they had a business or something and they got back like a $25,000 tax return. And they were like, yo, that worked. Yo, we got 25,000. So they get together, they put in another one, they put in something for like $1 million some odd dollar tax return. $1 million some odd dollars. Woman put it in. These people is petty, man. People are petty. Woman put it in. People process it. Government sent it back, said, yeah, you good. Government sent it back and said, yeah, your return is $1 million plus. She was like, okay. They said it's deposited here. Some woman got mad, like, what? This don't seem right. Start asking questions. Girl called, she's like, man, I'm just trying to come get my money. Banks don't work like that. You can't just come get your money. I want to come get my $1 million. You've lost your mind. Goes down there, police waiting for her, lock her up. Tax fraud, all of types of stuff. Here's what I'm trying to say to you people. Knowledge helps you. Knowledge keeps you from thinking that you can file $1 million tax return and then you're going to walk down there to your local branch and they're going to dole it out and put it into a bag for you. No. What does this lead to, people? We are the lenders. When it comes time for this money thing, when it comes time for understanding how things work, you have to understand when the money that fuels all of this comes from us. And what I was talking about earlier, when I said this earlier, exchanging your time for money is not work. It is your job. It is a job that will pay you for it, that will give you time for your money. And in turn, you will take your money and put it in a bank and say, I trust you to make sure nothing goes wrong with my money. And then you will turn around and say, hey, I gave you $1,200. I'm going to be getting $1,200 every week for the foreknown future. They say, perfect. We're going to give you $5,000 to use right now. And you say, wonderful. And then you take that $5,000 and you spend it on things that you don't need, that can't make you happy. Money don't make you happy. And find yourself in a situation where now you owe these people money. And now you want to figure out, how do I get out of debt? Get off them damn credit cards. You want to know how to get out of debt? Don't get in debt. We are the lenders. So how does this position us? Understand that if we're lending, if we're the ones who are lending the money, why not lend ourselves some money? Why are we waiting for somebody else to put money in our pocket when we can do it ourselves? When we can grow it? Money's not debt. That's a ridiculous statement. I was going to say your name, but I'm not going to. Money's not debt. Money's not even real, if you want to be honest about it. But since people believe in it and people trust it, money is the way that you grow things. Can't buy you happiness, but it can definitely build a system around you. It can build and structure things the way you are. So if someone is telling you that this thing, like this sweatshirt, you could get for $60. You could buy this sweatshirt for $60. Where's the $60 come from? I don't know. You don't even see money no more. They got rid of the penny. Money used to be worth what it was worth because the money was the thing. Gold coins used to be worth what they were worth because it was the value of gold. And as the value of gold went up, the value of the coin went up. We print money on filament and cloth and It's a trust. Do you know what your name is in all caps? Should I invest in pork belly? Man, get yourself some pork belly. You should probably invest in a pork belly plate. Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. Here's what I'm trying to share with you. Discipline is the catalyst to all of it. But it all starts out with whether or not we have the ability to do the little things that are going to help see us grow. Banks don't become banks because they woke up one day and there was $5 million for them to work with. Banks become banks because they got people to trust them to say, hey, put your money here and it'll be safe. Now, banks were really created by the people who were taking your money, by the companies. Do some research, by the businesses that you worked for. And they said, hey, I can give you your cash, but there are a whole lot of bad people in this neighborhood who will rob you and take your money. It'll be a lot safer if you put your money with me. Let me keep it, and when you need it, you can come to me and get what you need. It's going to be safer than taking it home and putting it in your mattress. It's not safe in your mattress. Your house could burn down. Your neighbor could break in and steal your mattress. Who the hell is stealing mattresses? What was going on back in the day that they were stealing mattresses? These are the people who convince you, let me hold your money. It's best for you. It takes time. You have to build that trust. And then once you said, yes, you can hold my money, they say, hey, listen, I'm holding your money. I know how much you get paid. You should be in a better situation than you're in. Here's what I'm going to do for you. When it's time for you to get paid, I'm going to put your money away. I'm going to keep it safe. But right now, you and your family, go over there to that little piece of land and get yourself some stuff. I'm going to send Johnny over there with some materials so you guys can build yourself a house. Company owner owns the land. He owns Johnny. He owns the materials. Now he owns you. He's a bank. Doesn't happen overnight. They had to work at something. They had to build something. They had to focus on it. They had to have repetition. They had to do it over and over. They didn't know how to do it right at first. Didn't know how to make it perfect. We got to start, though. We're going to start doing it. Let's be patient. Eventually, we're going to get people to start building towns. That's where these ghost towns come from. The corporation came in, told the people they were mining for something that wasn't there, paid them money that they never actually paid them for a resource they were never actually going to recover, had the people build and sustain their own habitats, and then the company left, took their money with them. And the people are like, what are we going to do? We're going to die. Well, we might not die, but the town is. That's where ghost towns come from. There's nothing left. All the companies left. All the organizations left. So these things are important for you to understand. These things are important for us to understand because once we start to understand them, we start to get the understanding that this stuff doesn't happen instantaneous. Everybody wants to figure out, how can I invest $500 in the stock market and be a millionaire tomorrow? You can do trading. Go ahead, start doing some trading. Do it without learning what you're doing. Doing it without figuring out what you're doing, how it works, what trading actually means, the difference between trading and investing. Investing is the long game. You invest, I'm in it for good. I'm going to keep investing. I'm going to keep going. Dollar costs. I'm going to invest continuously at a certain amount because even as the value of the dollar goes down, with the value of my stock going up, I'm just getting bigger and bigger value for what I'm getting. It's worth more and more and more. What does it say? Bring back self-sufficient towns. Build one. Build one. They started building one. It was a racist town. That's stupid. But they started building a little self-sufficient town. I thought it was a pretty good idea. Everybody in the town invest in making the town better. Guess what? Not everybody wants to do what you want to do. Not every white, Christian, Anglo-Saxon wants to do what you want them to do. Everybody here's got to pitch in. Well, listen, my pitch in is the fact that I have a fund that I live off of from my daddy that gives me $20,000 a month. I'm gonna give y'all $5. That's it. I'm not cleaning nothing. I ain't cleaning no pen. I ain't raising no animals. I ain't doing nothing. Now your self-sufficient town belongs to the person with the most resources. Come on, man. Sounds like a good idea. We got to play these things out. We talk about stuff. I'm going to tell you what. There's this short right now, and this thing is years old. It's from Big Mike down in Atlanta, rapper out of Georgia. And he starts running off questions. How many of y'all know how to farm? How many of y'all plant your own crops? How many of y'all go hunting every day? How many of y'all know how to make your own milk? How many of y'all know how to build? How many of y'all know how to construct? How many of y'all know how to run electricity? He run down all these questions. He said, you motherfuckers ain't ready. I'm sorry. He says, y'all ain't ready to be self-sufficient. You talk a good game. You are just as comfortable as everybody else. You are just as gentrified as everybody else with your Starbucks-like entail. Look, I enjoy my comforts. I do not want to milk no cow. I don't. I like bacon. I ain't killing nobody's pig. Let's stop acting like, oh, everything's going to be, oh, it's beautiful. We can all just get along. No, we can't all get along. I told my kids, let me tell y'all a funny conversation. And this is something that adults have to figure out for themselves as well. And it's not about being lazy. It's about I just don't do certain things. My skills are in a different place. Why are you going to ask somebody? Why are you going to ask somebody who knows how to put money to work and move money and make things happen? Why are you going to ask someone who does that to go kill pigs? I ain't no pig killer. Killer Mike. Yeah, that's who it was. Killer Mike. It's for real. I don't like hunting. I shoot guns. I own guns. I ain't going out and shooting nobody deer and cleaning it and bringing it back. No, that's not my thing. It's not what I do. You want me to tell you how to take this $10,000 and put it to work for you so it'll be a part of your legacy and your children's future? I can do that. I could do that. You want to know how to acquire this property using your business versus using your personal income so that this can grow and it'll live for perpetuity and you don't have to worry about the government coming and taxing it and taking it from your children? I can help you do that. That's my thing. It's not lazy. It's just that not everybody does what everybody else does. Stop thinking people got to be like you in order to be. You don't. You ain't got to be like me. You ain't got to like me. You ain't got to like what I do. You ain't got to like how I do it. Do your thing. I'm not telling you that you got to do anything that's my thing. Do your thing. But whatever your thing is, you have to do it. And this is the problem that so many people have, is so many people want everybody to do the thing that they want to do the way they want to do it. No, do your thing. You don't need me to get your thing done. You don't need me to get your thing done. You need you, though. We keep talking about, oh, it's a struggle, oh, it's hard, oh, it's suffering. It's not a struggle. It is hard. It's not suffering. It's just what you have to do to get there. You got to go up 10 steps. You got to go up 10 steps. The person behind you, the person in front of you, everybody is 10 steps for all of them. So if you're going to go up the steps, go up the steps. Stop looking at other people, talking about how they go up the steps. I keep telling you, stop looking at people next to you. You're going to look at the one person who's walking up the steps and call them lazy. You're going to look at the one person who's running up the steps and say you're doing too much. We're judging. Don't judge. This is what this whole conversation was this morning. Don't burn yourself out. Don't overdo it. Do what you need to do to get done what needs to get done. You only got 100% of you. There's no 120% of you. You want to do something, you want to build a community, you need to find people who fit that community and build that community. There's one in New Zealand. They got a story on it on YouTube. It's one in New Zealand where they were like, well, we pretty much do whatever we want to. It's an unincorporated town. They got one out in California or even in Nevada, something like that. Oh, we pretty much do what we want to do. Unincorporated. We do like we just live. We got people out there making art out of glasses, making heroin out of sand. Like, I don't know, like they got their own experience out there. And now here we are trying to tell somebody else how they need to live their life. I'm not telling you how you need to live your life. I'm telling you stay focused on your life. It was some comments in here. Let me go back and look at some of them. That realness came out of them. Realness quick. Thank you very much. Thank you, Zulo. Jesus Christ of Nazareth is our focus. The problem is to believe in our own will more than God's. It's not about believing in our own will more than God. Small gift of 10,000. A small gift. If you believe in God, you know how meaningless this all is. I love God, capital G. But if you believe and you love God, you know how meaningless this all is. Do you believe that the creator of everything, and I get here in just about every talk, and I share this way because as a believer, as a child of God, I want to be able to establish how ridiculous our thoughts and arguments are on things that really don't matter. My belief as a born-again Christian is that when it is all over for me, I am going to spend eternity in an unimaginable utopia, listening to angels sing, beauty beyond whatever my mind can imagine, nothing that has ever been drawn or artificially created or that has ever been seen by the human eye can possibly conceive the most beautiful thing you can think of that you've ever seen. Heaven will be prettier than that. Heaven will be greater than that. Heaven will be more than that. We arguing about who gonna kill a pig. It's ridiculous. You wanna know why it's ridiculous? You wanna know why I work on enjoying my life here? Why I work on being a good version of myself here? Why I work on making sure that my life is about living my life and having joy and having happiness while I'm here? You know why I do that? Because I know this is temporary. I know it is temporary. And if you love God and you know this is temporary, why are you so sad about being here? Why are you so beaten down? Why are you so withholding? Why are you so afraid to invest? Why are you so afraid to go out and be honest and say, I like this thing. I want to do this thing. I want to go to these places. I want to see these things. Because that is the essence of being alive. That is the essence of living versus just being alive. We sitting around, we spending hours. Listen, I just told you don't get me started on churches. I just told y'all about all that money y'all throw in the banks and how we the lenders for banks. How long you been going to your church? All you I believe in God's. I love God. How long you been going to your church, following your pastor, worshiping your minister? How long have you been doing that? How long have you been believing in God in a way that has you worshiping and servicing man? How long have you been doing it? And now go to your bank and tell them, hey man, I ain't gonna make my rent this month. Go to your bank first, see what your bank say. Man, you ain't got enough money to pay that rent. We'll give you a loan, it's 28% interest. Oh no, you ain't got, your paycheck's too small. You can't afford your house. Then go to your church and ask, hey man, I'm gonna have trouble paying my rent. Okay, all right, listen. Look, when I was younger, I got in trouble, right? I got in trouble. A lot of people get in trouble. My trouble landed me in jail, right? So I'm in jail. This is in Prince George's County, Maryland. So go to jail, I'm in there. In there for a little while, getting a fight with somebody on the tier. They got gangs all throughout the jails. So all your religious groups were gangs, right? Your Muslims was gangs, your freaking, your Jews, then you had your white supremacists who were Christians, they were a gang. So you had all your gangs, but then you had like the church, like the preacher at the jail, like he was the man, right? What's going on, Maryland? So you would go down. What are they called? What are the little preachers in the jails called? The clergy, whatever they would call it, right? You go down, you have your little services or whatever. And then what happens is you get there. And so I'm in there, right? And I had this little disruption, a little canteen. Somebody stole a bag of chips or something. I don't know. But anyway, get into a fight, got a little mouse under my eye. I'm like, man. So I was in the church. You know, I went to church. So I went to the people. I went to my brothers and I'm sat down. I'm like, yo, we're going to do something. We got to do something about this, right? He was like, so what we gonna do? Like, what we gonna do? And so I'm talking to him and everybody was like, They say, listen, let's give it to Jesus. Let's go talk to Jesus. And I was like, Jesus? They're like, yeah, let's go talk to Jesus. I'm like, man, this man stole my stuff. They jumped me and look at my eye. They're like, hey man, let's go talk to Jesus. I'm like, you must be talking about Jesus, the dude on D Block who make the knives. Is that who you talking about? There's no way you telling me that we get ready to go pray after this man beat me up and took my canteen. That's not what's happening. It's not. This is what I'm trying to tell you people about. I got jumped. Listen, this is what I'm trying to share with you. All of these little groups, all these little places you give your money to, all these churches, when it comes time for you to go back to them and say, yo, I need you. The same way I learned and when I went back to my little church group in jail, I was like, oh, I need you. They were like, what you need me for? Now, I can't do that, but we can pray. What? Go to your church right now where you've been paying your tithes and your offerings for years. Go to them right now and say, yo, I ain't gonna make my rent this month, and it's Thanksgiving. Oh, well, we got turkeys. I don't need no dang turkey. Everybody giving out turkeys. I'm sick of turkey. I don't even like turkey for real. It's dry. I need to pay my rent. See what your church do. Okay, well, we're gonna pray. I'm gonna get together with Sister Margaret and we're gonna see what we can do. We're gonna send out some messages. How is it possible? I know I've been here for a decade. I've been tithing loyally. I know I've been coming in here and dropping $200 bi-weekly as a 10th into these freaking offerings. I've come to revivals and I've put up additional offerings. I put up praise offerings. I put up worship offerings. I put up, the air conditioner offering. I don't know why we still ain't fixed this air conditioner. I need to pay my rent. I got most of it. I need $700. Give me $700, man. Brother, you have to understand. What? Are you kidding me right now? And then they're gonna be in your pockets. They're gonna be in your pockets, I'm telling you. Do the same thing at the bank. People, why am I sharing this with you? I'm sharing it with you to say this. I'm sharing this with you to just say this. It starts with us. We spend so much time everywhere we go looking outside of us. So we look at the people working next to us. We look to the people who are living next to us. We look at how they live. We look at the church, how the pastor acts. We look at the bank. We look at the millionaires. We look at the politicians. Oh, we have a criticism for every one of them. All of them are doing this, they're doing that. We look at people who act like us and we say they could be more like me. We look at people who don't act like us and they say they need to change completely. We are constantly in a space where we are looking outside of ourselves to judge and determine what other people are doing, and we are unhappy in the process. And what I'm sharing with you is that the process of being happy with not only yourself, but where you're going and what you're doing is by starting with yourself and understanding that living is the purpose of being alive. And it doesn't take money. It takes you figuring out that living is the purpose of being alive. All this other stuff, it's just made up. And we're letting it take too much control of us. We're letting it have too much of our time, too much of our mentality. And that's why I say, don't burn yourself out on your job. You do a good job, not because they're paying you. You do a good job because that's what you do. You work on yourself. You don't work on yourself because you're waiting for somebody to give you a paycheck and say thank you. Listen, they tricked us into believing that we're not grateful for who women are in the world. They tricked women into believing it too, and they destroyed families by doing it because women, when they got up and they cleaned and they cooked and they cared for the children and they cared for the house, they did it because there was value in it, not because there was a dollar amount attached to it. It's because they understood that the structure and the development of these people and this living that we are doing and this enjoyment of each other and the ability to be able to come together and exist and grow little humans that are going to go into the future and care for each other as well, you can't freaking pay them for. there's no dollar amount to attach to it. And since there's no dollar amount attached to it, they say, oh, you don't care. You're not grateful for what she does. I am. You don't know me. And so they tricked women into believing that they're not being appreciated. And since you're not being appreciated and you're not being paid for it, the work that you do has no value. And when they got women to believe that the work that they did had no value, they stopped doing it. Look at our lives. Look at our children. Look at your pissed off men, your pissed off women, your angry children, because there's not that linchpin. See, when we start to understand that it starts with us. Somebody asked me one time, how do I find a good woman? You ain't got to find a good woman. Be a good man, a good woman to be in your life. Where you be, where you go, what you do will put you in the space to be around that person who you need to be in your life. Why we keep looking for good women? Why are we looking for good men? You don't have to look for good women and good men if you are a good woman and a good man. Racist people don't ask, how can I look for another racist person? Hateful people don't ask, how can I find another hateful person? Killers don't ask, how can I find another killer? They're just killers. They find themselves in spaces and next to killers. Evil finds evil, good finds good. So here's what I'm trying to say. All of this is simply saying, let's stop putting it on other people for how we feel and where we are and where we're going. Let's take up our own. Let's understand that it starts with discipline. Anything, I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm saying anything you want to do, start with discipline. Excuse me. Discipline starts with repetition. Repetition saying, man, I want to do something. I'm going to get up and start doing it. That's what repetition is. Repetition is just starting. You can't be consistent at something that you do not understand how to do, nor have the skill set to do. You follow that repetition up with patience. They go together. Because once you start doing something, right? I say, look, you'll never be ready and you're always ready. Because as soon as you start to do it, you're going to start to get better. So you continue to go. You do the repetition. You couple it with patience. Once you get an idea of exactly what it's doing and how it's working, you're going to figure out that you need yourself a plan, that you need to be going somewhere with it. Your body is going to ask you, why are we doing this thing? And then once you figure out the work that you're doing, why you're doing it, and where you're going, at that point, you need perseverance. You need to persevere. You need to go through the struggles. You need to go through the times when there are disbelievers. You need to work through when there are going to be haters. You need to work through when there are going to be challenges. You need to work through when you don't think it's going to work. You need to keep going. And as you do that, as you work towards mastery, it's a guarantee that you're going to see success. That growth, that development, that discipline. RPCP, people. Got sweatshirts and hats I wear because they got RPCP. Repetition, patience, consistency, perseverance. You follow that. You follow that. And as you follow it, you're going to see development, growth. You're going to see yourself get better. You're going to see yourself get stronger. You're going to see yourself start to understand your meaning, understand your direction, understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, where you're going. My purpose is what I leave behind. My purpose isn't what I do while I'm here. It's what I leave behind. It's the legacy, because I'm moving on to greater. Why not enjoy what I have here while I'm here, knowing that I'm going on to greater? So here's the thing, people. When we start to live our life and understand that the work that we do on us is the catalyst for the life that we'll live, we give ourselves the freedom to grow, mature, and be happy. It's out there for all of us to do, for all of us to enjoy. What's about this live? This live is strictly about don't burn out. Don't do too much too often. 1, it won't be appreciated. 2, if you do, it's going to burn you out. You're not going to appreciate what you do. 3, ultimately, it gets to a point that you figure out that you're not working for you. You're working for others to see and approve of you. I want to appreciate everybody from being here this morning. I thank you for letting me spend this time with you, for you guys enjoying this walk with me. As always, please like, subscribe, share. We have the membership tier open now. The membership tier is going to offer you a lot more detail, a lot more direct interaction on how to make these changes and see this growth. In the program, we'll learn more about how repetition works and how you can use discipline to change your direction of your life. If you're headed in a direction and you're not comfortable with it, you don't know where you're going, or you're not happy with the outcomes currently, let's become a part of the group, become a part of the challenges that we implement to develop mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. All of these things are available to you now, guys. Once again, thank you for being here. And as I always say, keep showing up, keep blowing up, keep growing up. Until next time, guys, God bless. You guys have a great weekend.